Deal momentum. This clip's all about how to keep momentum in sales campaigns or specific deals. Why is this important, you might ask? Well, because a sale closed after one single meeting or conversation is extremely unlikely. My name's Chris Wren and I have been successfully selling for many years. Let's take a deeper dive into this often neglected topic. For clarity, deal momentum refers to opportunities that you're already working on. You may have had a first or second meeting with a customer. You may have had a demonstration with a customer. They may have come into your place of business to see you. This is a qualified prospect that could become a customer, and an in-flight opportunity, if you like. Your next question might be, how do I keep momentum here to keep moving forward to a closed sale? I'm assuming here that you are following some sort of sales process here that has identified the logical steps for your sale. If you don't have a defined set of steps, you can check out my program called Amplify Sales that highlights the 7-step process plan that will drastically improve your chances of winning more business. I'll add a link to that program at the end of this clip. So back to deal momentum and how to keep deals moving through your pipeline. Before sharing with you what I do, I'll share what I don't do at the start of a working day. What I don't do is look at emails, and I don't look at my things to do today. So don't do. I don't look at email, and I don't look at my to-do list. Emails, funnily enough, I refer to emails as basically being slaves to other people's agendas. That may give you a perspective on why I don't look at emails when I first get into the office. So when I start my day, the first thing I do is look at what deals I have in flight. I have a clear understanding of what step I'm at any one deal. I then ask myself the following question for each deal. What's the next action to move this deal forward to a place where I can get the sale closed, or another step to get me closer to closing this opportunity? That's the first thing I do. Look at deals in motion. I need a board that doesn't move when I rub it out. It could be following up with a second phone call, potentially. It could be follow up with a recommended demonstration or booking a demo time. It could be follow up with some sort of follow-up meeting. I may need to get some additional information to them. In technology, it could be asking your pre-sales team to do a build of materials for you. It could be asking your project manager to do a high-level project plan to see if that fits in with your prospects' delivery timeframes that they've shared with you. It might be to send them a quote or a proposal. I'll talk more about this in more detail towards the end. It could be any number of things. However, my goal is to keep moving the deal forward and try to map out a plan that's going to allow me to meet the customer's needs, solve their problem, so I can close that sale. The example, create momentum to move your prospect through your pipeline. You're going to have multiple deals and multiple times at different stages. This is why it's important to understand what step you're at in the sales process, which helps you keep multiple opportunities moving and on track. Your daily question, once again, what is the next right action to ensure that this deal moves to the next stage or moves to closure? My routine is based on principles of good follow-up. Unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way why follow-up was so important, and I lost many sales because of poor follow-up practices. Being in sales and having worked in finance, I've learned to like numbers and statistics. For some reason I can't explain, I have found that people in general tend to believe statistics more than they believe numbers. So let me share some statistics on why you should improve your process to follow up. A significant portion of sales are lost due to inadequate follow-up strategies. Research I've done highlights the following key statistics. 70% of lost sales are attributed to lack of follow-up, underscoring the critical role in closing deals. 44% of sales reps stop follow-up after one attempt, despite data showing that 80% of sales require 5 or more follow-ups to close a sale. 48% of salespeople never make a second contact, leaving substantial opportunities unaddressed and leaving money that could have been spent with you on the table. And 81% of sales occur between the 5th and 12th contact attempt, demonstrating the importance of persistence in the sales environment. Now, these findings reveal very poor follow-up practices, so don't be the person that adds to these terrible numbers, please. Back to my comment before about quotes and proposals. Remember, it costs your prospect or customer nothing to ask you to do a quote or proposal. However, it does cost you time and more likely effort to put these things together. Prospects' customers will often ask you to do a quote proposal as a means to disengage from the conversation. Now, the salesperson often believes that they're interested. For the customer, this could be just a tactic to get rid of you. If you ask for a quote or a proposal, you have every right to make further inquiries such as, do you have a budget for this product or service? Is there anyone else besides yourself involved in a decision to purchase this product? What is the likely timing you would want to start utilising this product or service or take delivery of the product? My point here is don't waste the opportunity to try and close the sale, qualify the sale better, or get more commitment to the opportunity. Your time is valuable too, and you don't want to waste it in doing quotes and proposals that are never going to go anywhere. So in summarising, we talked about deal momentum in this clip, some daily practice that will improve your closing averages. Having a sales process and steps to follow. There's a link here to my program, which I mentioned. And also I shared some research statistics why follow-up is so important to customers. Finally, we talked about why being asked to do a quote is not always a positive sign in the selling process. So look, thanks for listening to this clip. If you found it helpful, please click on like at the bottom of the page. I'm on a mission to make sales easier for people that struggle with sales. The more followers I get, the more people are likely to come across this content. That could just be what they're needing right now to make sales easier for them. For more videos on selling strategies that work, check out these and see if there's some more topics there that could help you.